Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about push-ups. So I've received a direct message from a good friend of mine and client that was working on improving her push-ups, specifically for testing and getting into federal agency. And so I wanted to create a video to help you with that testing protocol. So first off, you can't get away from doing the push-ups. Yes, you can do it in the context of using gym and other equipment, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to talk about what you can use to improve your push-ups. So first off, I'm Coach Victor Robledo. If you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe to this. I create videos for my clients, friends, and people that I know to help them get better. Why? Because I care about them and care to see them improve. So if you like this, please message me if you have any questions. I love to answer questions. You can email me or leave messages down in the comments below. I'll help by creating videos for you with real world problems that you're trying to fix. So let's talk about developing push-up strength. First, let's establish where you're at. If you're trying to improve your push-ups for a push-up test, that is generally identified as muscular endurance. That's why the push-up test is there. So how do you establish what you need? First off, if you're in that range where you're still doing in single digit push-up to about 15 to 20, you're still working on establishing enough strength to achieve the push-up. So you need to work on improving strength. Once you're starting to get past 20, 25, 30, we're improving muscular endurance on those areas. Now, specifically, there are lots of prime movers in the push-up. Pecs, shoulders, triceps are the upper body, but you're also integrating stability. So we do need a decent amount of core strength. And depending on where your weakness is, you can evaluate like, oh, I'm weak in if you can't keep your plank position while you're doing push-ups, you need to go back and work on your core stability first. For the most part, when people get to their failure point, they always end up in that back bend position because they're trying to drive up and trying to find some way of getting a few extra reps. So always doing a little bit of extra core helps, working that plank position for time as well. But let's break down how to do it. Now there's no real difference in how we're approaching this as to approaching a push-up, a squat, a power lift. Is that we want to work towards overloading to improve strength and work those numbers, and also building the muscular endurance. So how do you build that strength? So what we want to be able to do is the same thing, is add a little bit of strength. So how do we do that? We add bands, we add pausing at different ranges of motion, we add weight to the back to create resistance. So if you want to get stronger at your push-up, say, Victor, I want to build endurance, I want to build more numbers, but you're in that sweet spot where you potentially are only getting about single digits to about 20, strength is still going to be a valuable, important tool. So how can you do that? Well, someone can gently push on top of the shoulders to make your push-ups intentionally harder. But Victor, I'm getting less repetitions that way. That's right, but you still need more strength to break through to that muscular endurance. So we want to use some overload principle and mix it in. Optimally, I would be doing push-ups if you're really working on improving your push-up capability 3 to 4 times a week. Now, does it have to be to absolute failure? Well, we do get to that part. When we're working strength, we do want to always consider technique, right? We want to drive hard and keep that technique. So again, they were using bands. We'll use weight on the back. Be careful where you place the weight. If you're placing on the low back and you have any low back problems, that could be a problem. Or you can also increase the strength that you're creating by intentionally pausing or adding some level of isometrics. So finding where your sticking point is, where you have a tendency to have trouble. Most people, once they build up and practice their push-ups, they can get out of the hole fairly well. But as they transition into right about here is where they have trouble. So as you're integrating your strength training, pause at those ranges of motion, 3 to 4 seconds, drive, finish. Descend, pause in that range of motion, drive, finish. I usually use 3 pausing points if we're really looking to improve that strength. Pausing at the bottom, pausing mid-range, pausing intentionally at that top third, which tends to be the easiest because the arms are almost at full length. But you add that at the end of a set or mixed in with a normal workout, you're going to have significant amounts of intensity. Now, the other part of this is building muscular endurance. And the biggest thing that I always tell people is embracing the suck. There's no way of getting around building push-ups at a high level of repetition, especially if you're looking to improve it, without embracing that suck. And this is where you start pushing yourself beyond your normal level. For the most part, when I'm working towards strength in the first part, is I want to make sure we have beautiful technique and embrace that. Embracing the suck and building endurance is about modifying technique. So this is where we go under. And this is the lightning method, and we would improve that like in a squat or a pull-up. Like, you can't do any more pull-ups. Well, can you do a pull-up where you're just lowering yourself down? So this is where you would do your normal set of push-ups till you get to end point. So let's say I only can do 10. I get to 10. That's it, Vicar, I can't do any more. Whoa, we're not done yet. So one of the easiest ways to do is drop to the knees. Kneeling push-ups gives you another failure point, right? Still working the specific muscles and building the endurance capability of those areas. Another one, hey, Victor, well, I'm never tested for my knees. Okay, that's a good point. However, you are going to press certain muscle groups beyond a certain level. Another variation, which still takes that full body position, is coming up off the knees, going up into a full push-up, descending down into that negative. Your body can really do extra repetitions on that negative position and allows us to push the body even further. Or you change your body position, right? So how can you make a push-up easier? Well, instead of doing it on the floor, you can go off a park bench. You can go off a table. Lastly, you can go for a wall. If you're looking to really improve your push-ups and push that level, start off a set normal. Go the most repetitions you can. Then drop into the knees until you can't do any of those. Then do a few negatives. Still can't, after you can't do any more negatives, then come off a table or a wall, do a few more. So those are a few strategies. Again, if you have any questions, let me know.